This street corner usually is a good place for some decent shots. There are people coming and going from every direction. And on top of that, these windows offer some delicious reflections. Let's see how it goes today. I'm waiting for someone to walk into my frame. Then I see these three young ladies approaching from the right, and when they walk into my frame, I hit the shutter. And look at that, not bad for the first picture of the day. Today I'm revisiting a focal length that used to be my absolute favorite for decades. And that is 35mm, of course. I see these people inside the cafe. They look remotely interesting, like silhouettes, and I decide to take a shot. Not my best picture, but as I like to say, when you see something, hit the shutter and think later. And the reason for this revisit is the brand new Samyang 35mm f1.4 full frame lens for Sony cameras. This lens is not mine, this is on loan from Focus Nordic Finland, and it's not mine to keep. I will return this lens after I'm done with my revisit, and no money changes hands. This video is not sponsored by anyone. I see these people waiting for the green light, and sometimes when you see people lined up like that, it can be an interesting composition. Just when I'm about to hit the shutter, this one guy turns, and he makes this picture slightly more interesting. I decide to go inside because I can already feel the cold in my fingers even though I'm wearing gloves. I'm looking for some more reflections. I simply love it how reflections can create these little bit chaotic layers in your shot. And I really like this one, it's really nice. Alright, let's take a bokeh picture, just because we can. Wide open, f1.4. Red apples, oranges in the foreground, and these warm Christmas lights in the background. And look at that, almost like yellow-orange vapor rising from these apples and oranges. Today my favorite lenses of focal lengths are a 40mm and a 28mm on a full frame camera or something equivalent on another sensor size. And I think it's quite interesting that today I have two favorite focal lengths on both sides of the 35. A 40mm is a little bit longer than a 35 and a 28 is a little bit wider than a 35. And I have the Ricoh GR3 and the GR3X to thank or to blame for that. After I started using those cameras, I fell in love with the focal lengths that come with those cameras, and those are of course a 40 and a 28. Do you own a 35 or something equivalent on another sensor size? Please leave your thoughts on that in the comments down below. Walking inside the main railway station in Helsinki, this restaurant at the back looks almost like a dark cave with a bright light inside back there. I want to take a picture of that, but just when I arrive at the doors, these three people come out and they start hugging, and without thinking anything I hit the shutter 2 times, and I really like this picture. I often take pictures of people on the bus or on the tram, and especially in the evening or in the night, there's a good chance to capture something interesting and decent. So much going on, but it's so hard to see anything really interesting. I decide to take a shot through these 2 dark characters in the foreground, and I really like how the arch shape of these characters is being repeated in the background. Just another minor situation on the street, nothing that spectacular. There's this guy taking pictures on his phone camera, and as you know, I like to take pictures of people taking pictures. For this one, I should have used the wide open f1.4 for better separation. Some people say that a 35 is incredibly boring focal length. It's not wide enough, but it's not narrow enough. Something uncomfortably in between. But I disagree. I think a 35 is a fantastic focal length for pretty much everything from portraits to landscapes and everything in between. A 35 and a 40 are of course very close together, only a 5mm difference there, and with a small crop you can make your 35 look like a 40 in post if you like that. However, I still think, today I think so, that a 40 is a nicer focal length for me, and it sort of suits my style of street shooting. And if I need something wider, I'll go for a 28. That being said, it felt really good to shoot on a 35 after a long break. I haven't used the 35 for a long time. And now I'm thinking maybe I should get a 35 again. Maybe even this Samyang. Another interesting lineup of people across the street. I really like the multitude of characters in this one. The mannequins in the shop window, the people on the tram stop, and then these two blurry figures in the foreground. Here comes my biggest failure of this photo walk. I see these two young ladies taking pictures probably for some social media, and it looks like a good street photo moment to me. But I hurry too much and fail to position my focus point on the lady who's posing, and end up with this picture which only reminds me of my total failure. It's just about the right time in the afternoon, late afternoon. The light in the sky and all the artificial city lights are in the right balance. And I grabbed this picture just because the light is so nice and it has a little bit of that city vibe. Crossing a street is another situation where I like to keep my camera ready. Sometimes you can see and capture something remotely interesting. I spot someone sitting in the corner window of the cafe upstairs. I walk a little bit closer and take a shot. I'm pretty pleased with this one. I even like the red letter A in the upper right corner. I like this Samyang. It's affordable, relatively compact for what it is, lightweight, weather sealed, autofocus seems to work, and it's sharp too. What more can you hope for? Of course, if you buy the Sony G Master 35 f1.4, you'll get a better lens, but you'll also end up spending a lot more money. You can buy almost 3 of these for the same price. And if I end up buying a 35, this Samyang is a strong candidate. It seems to work really well for my style of photography, and I feel I don't really need the G Master kind of price or quality, and this Samyang would do just nicely for me. That's all I have for you in this video. Thank you so much for watching and joining in. If you find my videos useful, helpful, or entertaining, please do consider supporting my channel. There are several ways. You can buy me a coffee. If you don't live in Finland, you can get the channel membership, or you can buy my e-zines. Links for all those options down below. Please check them out. Thank you, and I'll see you soon in the next one.